Arrival on Earth. In the boundless silence of the cosmos, a sleek crystalline starship, the Discovery, traversed the void of space. Its hull gleamed under the light of distant stars, a testament to the advanced engineering of the Zeronian race. Inside, a team of 5 female scientists, each with shimmering exoskeletons reflecting hues of blues and purples, prepared for what they hoped would be a groundbreaking mission. Alia, the youngest xenobiologist aboard, felt her hearts race with anticipation as they approached the lush blue-green planet known as Earth. Final approach sequence initiated, announced Vera, the ship's commander, her voice steady yet laced with excitement. The ship shuddered as it began to descend through Earth's atmosphere, the air crackling with friction, transforming the hull into a dull red glow. Elia gripped her seat, feeling both thrill and trepidation. This mission represented a monumental opportunity, discovering the secrets of a new life form. Brace for atmospheric entry, Vera commanded, her eyes scanning the fluctuating data on the controls. Outside the viewport, Elia glimpsed the sprawling landscape below, a patchwork of greens and browns, so different from the crystalline deserts of Xiron. Landing site detected, Nyx reported, her multifaceted eyes darting over the holographic displays. A suitable area of dense vegetation located approximately 100 kilometers from the nearest human settlement. Perfect, Alia exclaimed, leaning forward. Set us down there. We must avoid detection until we've had a chance to observe the natives up close. As the ship descended through wispy clouds, Alia's heart raced at the thought of stepping onto this alien world. Earth was known for its diversity of life. Its inhabitants, the humans, were a complete enigma to her species. What drove their evolution? How did they thrive without exoskeletons? The questions danced in her mind as they neared the ground. With a gentle thud, the ship landed in a small clearing, surrounded by towering trees. The forest was alive with sounds that filled the air, a cacophony of chirping and rustling that made Alia's antenna twitch with curiosity. She could barely contain her eagerness as the airlock hissed open, revealing the world beyond. Remember, we must exercise extreme caution, AER, the eldest of the group, cautioned as they prepared to disembark. Her voice crackled through their communicators, echoing the seriousness of their mission. These humans are unpredictable. We know little of their capabilities or intent. Alia nodded, though her heart swelled with excitement. Of course, Professor, we will follow all safety protocols. As they donned their protective suits, designed to shield them from Earth's unfamiliar atmosphere and potential biological hazards, Alia couldn't help but feel a mix of anxiety and exhilaration. With every adjustment of her suit, she reminded herself of the goal: to observe and learn without interference. Stepping onto the forest floor, Alia felt the earth yield beneath her armored foot, a sensation both strange and fascinating. She knelt, scooping up a handful of dirt, marveling at how it crumbled between her fingers. This entire planet seems to be composed of these loose organic materials, she mused, her scientific mind already cataloging the diversity of life around her. Alia, come quickly. Nyx's voice crackled urgently through the communicator, snapping her back to focus. We found something extraordinary. Heart racing with curiosity, Alia rushed to Nyx's location at the edge of a small lake. As she approached, her breath caught in her throat. There, completely unaware of their alien observers, was a group of humans. They were splashing in the water, their bare skin glistening under the sunlight, each movement revealing the soft contours of their bodies. Great crystals, Alia gasped, her voice a mix of fascination and disbelief. They're so exposed. Where are their exoskeletons? Zer's voice cut in, sharp and commanding. Maintain distance. We can't risk contamination or discovery. But Alia couldn't tear her eyes away. The humans laughed, their joy palpable, moving in ways that seemed impossible for such fragile creatures. I'm going to get a closer look, Alia decided, her scientific curiosity overpowering her caution. Alia, no, Sir hissed, but it was too late. Elia crept through the underbrush, activating her suit's cloaking device to render herself nearly invisible. As she neared the lake, the scene unfolded before her like a mesmerizing dance of life. Up close, the humans were even more astonishing. Their skin rippled and flexed, lacking any sort of protective plating. Their faces were expressive, filled with emotions that shifted like the wind. Suddenly, a twig snapped beneath Elia's foot. One of the humans, a male with dark hair, turned sharply in her direction. In that heart-stopping moment, Elia thought she'd been discovered. The human squinted, scanning the area. "Hello, is someone there?" Panic surged through Elia. She needed to retreat, to return to the safety of the ship. Yet, something in the human's voice, a gentleness she hadn't expected, held her in place. She held her breath, praying he would lose interest. Instead, he began to wade out of the water, calling to his friends. "I'm going to check something out. Be right back." Elia's heart raced. She had to move, but the allure of discovery kept her rooted to the spot. The human was now mere meters away, close enough for her to see the individual hairs on his head and the subtle variations in his skin tone. His eyes, a startling shade of green, seemed to penetrate her cloaking device, searching for her. "Hello," he called again, softer this time. "I know you're there. I'm not going to hurt you." Elia's scientific mind raced. This was it, first contact. Everything they prepared for, all their careful plans, were about to be thrown out the airlock. Should she run? Should she maintain the secrecy of their mission? But the warmth in his voice, the sincerity, made her hesitate. With trembling hands, Elia reached up and deactivated her cloaking device. The human's eyes widened in shock as her form shimmered into view, and he stumbled backward, nearly losing his balance. "Holy," he breathed, staring at her alien form. You're not from around here, are you?" "Elia," she managed to say, her name sounding strange through the translator, which struggled to convey her alien language. "I am, also a student of life." "My name is Alex," the human said, recovering somewhat from his initial shock. He held up his hands in a gesture meant to be non-threatening. "I'm a biologist. I study life forms, and you're the most incredible life form I've ever seen." Elia's analytical mind kicked into overdrive, analyzing every detail of this close encounter. "Why are you here?" she asked, her curiosity piqued. "I have so many questions," Alex replied, his face lighting up with genuine interest. "Where are you from? How did you get here?" Before he could ask more, voices erupted from the direction of the lake, calling for him. Panic flashed across his face, mirroring Elia's own alarm. "I have to go," he said quickly. "But please don't leave. This is too important. I want to learn from you." Elia hesitated, torn between her mission parameters and the unprecedented opportunity before her. "It is not safe," she warned. "My presence here must remain secret." "Of course I understand," Alex nodded eagerly. "But meet me here tomorrow at sunset. I promise I'll come alone." With a last glance at the retreating human, Elia activated her cloaking device and made her way back to the ship. Her heart pounded with a mix of excitement and trepidation. She knew she should tell Zert everything, that the mission had been compromised. But a small part of her, the part that had driven her to become a xenobiologist, whispered that this was the opportunity of a lifetime. As she approached the ship, Elia made a decision. She would meet Alex again, secret or not. The chance to study humans up close, to truly understand these strange, soft creatures, was too valuable to pass up. The rest of the team was waiting for her at the ship's entrance, their postures radiating tension and disapproval. "What were you thinking?" Zer demanded as soon as Elia was within earshot. "You could have jeopardized the entire mission." Elia straightened, her exoskeleton plates shifting defiantly. "I was gathering valuable data on human behavior and physiology. Isn't that why we're here?" "Not at the expense of our safety and secrecy," Nyx interjected, concern flickering in her multifaceted eyes. "Did they see you?" Vera asked sharply, her tone edged with authority. Were you detected? Elia hesitated, knowing her next words would shape the course of their mission. She thought of Alex, of the eagerness in his eyes, and the potential for understanding between their species. No, she lied, her voice steady. My cloaking device functioned perfectly. They were completely unaware of my presence. The tension in the group visibly eased, though Zer still regarded her with suspicion. We'll discuss this further inside, she said. For now, we need to analyze the data we've collected and plan our next move. As they filed into the ship, Alia's mind raced. She had bought herself time, but what would she do with it? The logical part of her knew that meeting Alex again was dangerous, potentially catastrophic for their mission. But the scientist in her, the part that craved knowledge and understanding, could not resist the opportunity. Inside the ship, the team gathered around a holographic display, reviewing their findings. Alia half listened as her colleagues discussed soil samples and atmospheric readings. Her thoughts still lingered on the lakeshore encounter. Alia, Lyra's voice snapped her back to the present. What's your assessment of the human biological structures we observed? Pushing aside her inner turmoil, Alia focused on the scientific challenge before her. Their anatomy is unlike anything we've encountered, she began, calling up holographic models based on their observations. No exoskeleton, as we noted earlier. Their entire body seems to be supported by an internal framework of, I hesitate to call them crystals, some kind of organic support structure. And their outer covering. Nix leaned in, examining the hologram closely. A flexible, self-repairing membrane, Alia explained, warming to the subject. It seems to serve multiple functions: protection, temperature regulation, sensory input, but it's incredibly vulnerable compared to our own exoskeletons. Zer nodded, her own scientific curiosity momentarily overriding her earlier anger. And yet, they've managed to become the dominant species on this planet. How? Alia paused, considering the question. I'm not sure, she admitted, but I intend to find out. As the discussion continued, Alia's resolve strengthened. She would meet Alex again, risks be damned. The chance to truly understand these fascinating creatures was worth any potential consequences. As Earth's sun began to set, casting long shadows through the crystal viewport, Alia made her decision. She would sneak out at the appointed time, using every bit of stealth technology at her disposal. The others would be engrossed in their data analysis, providing her with a window of opportunity. I'm going to run some additional scans of the local flora, she announced, careful to keep her voice neutral. Very well, but maintain communication protocols, and do not engage with any native life forms. Is that clear? Zer warned. Alia nodded, guilt gnawing at her as she prepared to disobey a direct order, but the pull of discovery was too strong to resist. As she exited the ship, her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The forest had transformed in the fading light, taking on an ethereal quality. Bioluminescent insects flitted between the trees, creating a dazzling light show. Under different circumstances, Alia would have been captivated by the alien beauty. But her focus was singular, to reach the meeting point without detection. As she approached the lake, Alia spotted a solitary figure waiting at the water's edge, Alex, pacing nervously, occasionally glancing at a device strapped to his wrist. Alia took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. With a final check of her cloaking device, she stepped out from the forest cover. I wasn't sure you'd come, Alex said softly as she shimmered into view, his eyes roaming over her alien form with undisguised fascination. The pursuit of knowledge often requires taking risks, Alia replied, her translator struggling to convey the nuances of Zeronian idioms. Alex's face lit up with enthusiasm. This could be the beginning of something incredible, a chance for our species to learn from each other, to bridge the gap between worlds. Alia felt a spark of hope ignite within her. This was exactly what she had envisioned, a collaboration that could transcend their differences. But the risks were monumental. Are you not afraid? Elia asked, her curiosity piqued. Oh, I'm terrified, Alex admitted with a soft laugh. But I'm also a scientist. The opportunity to study an advanced alien species, it's a dream come true. As they talked, the initial awkwardness faded. Elia found herself drawn in by Alex's quick mind and genuine curiosity. They exchanged information about their respective planets, marveling at the differences and occasional surprising similarities. Your world sounds amazing, Alex said, his eyes shining with wonder as Elia described Xeron's crystal cities and binary star system. But I have to ask, why Earth? What brought you here specifically? Elia hesitated, weighing how much to reveal. We detected radio signals, she explained carefully. Your broadcasts piqued our interest. We came to observe and learn about your species without interfering. A scientific mission, then, Alex mused. Not an invasion or anything like that. No, Elia assured him quickly. We have no interest in conquest, only knowledge. Relief washed over Alex's face. That's good to hear. Listen, I want to help you. I can be your guide to Earth, help you understand our culture, our biology. In exchange, I'd love to learn more about your people, your technology. Elia's heart raced at the prospect. This was exactly what she had hoped for, a chance for true cultural exchange. But the risks of meeting again were high. If my team discovers I've made contact, she started but trailed off. We'll be careful, Alex promised. I won't tell anyone about you. We can meet in secret, exchange information. Think of the breakthroughs we could make. Elia knew she should refuse, should return to her ship, and forget this ever happened. But the scientist in her, the part that craved knowledge and understanding, wouldn't let her walk away. All right, she said, her decision made. We'll work together. But we must be extremely cautious. Alex's face lit up with a grin, an expression Elia was starting to find oddly endearing. You won't regret this, he said, extending his hand in a human greeting gesture. Hesitantly, Elia reached out her own limb, marveling at the strange sensation as their vastly different anatomies made contact. In that moment, she knew her life, and potentially the future of both their species, had changed forever. Exploring each other's worlds, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the lake as Elia and Alex stood at the water's edge. The atmosphere was electric with the possibilities of discovery and understanding. As twilight enveloped them, bioluminescent insects began to flicker, creating a surreal backdrop for their clandestine meeting. I can't believe I'm standing here with an alien, Alex said, shaking his head in disbelief. His voice was filled with a mix of wonder and excitement. What's it like on your planet? Elia felt a flutter of pride at his curiosity. Xeron is vastly different from Earth, she began, her antennae twitching with enthusiasm. Our world is made of crystals that tower into the sky. The landscapes shimmer in vibrant colors, reflecting the light of our binary stars. It's a harsh but beautiful environment, where survival depends on adaptation and resilience. Binary stars, Alex echoed, fascinated. That sounds incredible. We'd only have one sun here. I can't imagine what it would be like to have two. It creates a unique rhythm to our lives, Elia explained. Our days are longer, and our nights are illuminated by the glow of two suns setting together. But it also means we face extreme conditions. Our bodies have adapted to withstand the intense heat and the cold of the night. Alex listened intently, his eyes sparkling with interest. And what about the creatures? What kind of life exists there? Elia's expression softened as she recalled the majestic creatures of her home world. There are many. Some have exoskeletons like ours, while others have adapted to the environment in ways I can only describe as extraordinary. For instance, the lunaflea, a creature that glows in the dark, uses bioluminescence to communicate and attract mates. That sounds like something straight out of a storybook, Alex replied, chuckling. I've read about bioluminescent organisms in the ocean, but I can't imagine seeing them in real life. So, do you have any human-like beings on Xiron? Elia hesitated, considering how to explain. Not human-like, but we do have various intelligent life forms, each with unique capabilities. However, we do not have soft-bodied creatures like humans. Your kind is intriguing. She paused, gathering her thoughts. What I find most fascinating is your vulnerability. You do not have exoskeletons or protective coverings, yet you thrive. How is that possible? Alex chuckled softly, his smile warming the air between them. We've developed our intelligence and adaptability. We create tools, build shelters, and form complex societies. Our strength lies in our minds, not in our bodies. We protect each other and work together to overcome challenges. The concept of cooperation resonated with Alia. It mirrored the way her own species had learned to collaborate to thrive in the harsh environments of Xiron. You rely on each other then? She asked, intrigued. Absolutely, Alex replied. Humanity has evolved through collaboration. We've built civilizations, explored our world, and now we're looking to the stars. But we still face many challenges: conflict, environmental issues, and understanding each other across cultures. As they spoke, the night deepened, and the bioluminescent insects flitted around them like stars come to life. Alia found herself drawn into Alex's passion for his world. His enthusiasm was infectious, making her eager to share more about her own experiences. Tell me about your people, Alia urged, her curiosity piqued. How do you communicate? Alex's eyes sparkled with excitement. Humans use spoken language, body language, and expressions. We have developed thousands of languages over time, each with its unique nuances. It's a rich tapestry of culture. Alia nodded, understanding the complexities of communication. We also communicate using our bodies, but we rely on chemical signals and physical cues rather than verbal language. Our antennae, for example, are essential for sensing emotions and intentions. Interesting. So, do you have emotions? Alex asked, genuinely curious. Yes, very much so, Alia affirmed, her antennae flickering as she spoke. We experience joy, sadness, curiosity, and even fear. Just like you, we have deep connections to our families and communities. Wow, that's amazing, Alex said, reflecting on her words. So, what emotions did you feel when you first saw us? Alia smiled, her heart fluttering at the memory. I felt a mix of fascination and a strange sense of apprehension. Your bodies are so different from ours. At first, I was taken aback by how exposed you are. It made me question how you survive in a world filled with dangers. Alex chuckled, a warm sound that sent a thrill through Alia. I can understand that. We've just learned to adapt. But I promise, we're tougher than we look. As their conversation flowed, Alia found herself captivated by Alex's stories of Earth. He spoke of the beauty of nature, the challenges humanity faced, and the hope that drove them to explore beyond their planet. The connection between them deepened, and for the first time, Alia felt a sense of belonging in this alien world. I have something to show you, Alex suddenly said, his eyes gleaming with excitement. He reached into his backpack and pulled out a small device, glowing with lights. This is a holographic projector. It can display images and videos from my world. Alia watched in awe as Alex activated the device. A holographic image of Earth sprang to life, showcasing sprawling cities, majestic mountains, and vast oceans. Alia gasped, her eyes wide with wonder. This is one of our largest cities, New York, Alex explained, gesturing to the towering structures. And this is the Grand Canyon, a natural wonder. The images flickered with color and life, and Alia felt a rush of exhilaration. Extraordinary, she exclaimed, marveling at the sights before her. Your world is filled with such beauty. Alex smiled, pleased with her reaction. There's so much to explore, but it's not just about beauty. It's about the stories and experiences tied to these places. Every location has its history and its significance. The two spent hours sharing their cultures, exchanging stories and experiences. Alia showed Alex her own holographic displays of Zyron's landscapes and creatures, mesmerizing him with the sights of towering crystal formations and radiant life forms. They laughed and marveled at the differences and similarities in their worlds, their connection deepening with every word exchanged. As the night wore on, Alia felt a sense of comfort in Alex's presence. "This is a rare opportunity," she said, her voice softening. "We could learn so much from each other. Imagine the possibilities." "Yes, think about the breakthroughs we could achieve together," Alex replied, his excitement palpable. "I could help you understand human biology, and you could teach me about your species." A warm glow filled Alia's hearts. It would be an unprecedented collaboration, but we must be cautious. My team doesn't know about this contact, and if they discover I'm interacting with you, it could jeopardize everything. "I understand," Alex said, nodding earnestly. "We'll keep it a secret. I promise to be careful." With the promise of a shared journey ahead, Alia felt a sense of hope. They would navigate the complexities of their worlds together, bridging the gap between their species, one secret meeting at a time. As the stars twinkled overhead, Alia knew they were at the dawn of something monumental. The bond they were forging held the potential to change not only their lives, but also the future of their species. With excitement bubbling in her, Alia realized she was not just studying humans, she was embarking on a journey of understanding that would transcend the very fabric of their existence. "Let's meet again tomorrow," Alia suggested, her voice filled with determination. "We can start our exchange of knowledge." "Absolutely. Same place, same time," Alex agreed, his eyes bright with anticipation. With that, they parted ways, their minds racing with the possibilities that lay ahead. As Alia activated her cloaking device and stepped back into the shadows of the forest, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The path forward would be filled with challenges, but together, they would navigate the unknown one step at a time. Unlikely allies. As dawn broke over the horizon, casting hues of orange and pink across the sky, Alia felt an electric anticipation in the air. She had barely slept, her mind racing with thoughts of Alex and the possibilities that lay ahead. Today would mark another secret meeting, another step into the unknown. With a sense of purpose, Alia slipped out of the discovery, ensuring that her cloaking device was engaged. The forest was alive with sounds, the chirping of creatures greeting the morning light. She moved swiftly through the underbrush, her excitement bubbling as she thought of the knowledge exchange that awaited her. Upon reaching the lake, Alia found Alex already waiting, leaning against a tree, seemingly lost in thought. His expression brightened as he saw her materialize from the shadows. "You came," he exclaimed, a broad smile lighting up his face. "I was worried you wouldn't." "I wouldn't miss this for the world," Alia replied, her heart fluttering at the warmth of his greeting. "I have so much I want to learn from you." Alex stepped closer, his enthusiasm contagious. "Good. I brought something to show you." He retrieved the holographic projector again, activating it to display a rotating image of the solar system. "This is Earth's place in our solar system. We're the third planet from the sun." Alia gazed at the projection, her eyes wide with wonder. "Incredible. You orbit a single star, yet your world is so diverse." Alex nodded, excitement evident in his voice. "And it's all thanks to our atmosphere and our magnetic field. They protect us from solar radiation and maintain the right conditions for life." He shifted the display to highlight the Earth's atmosphere. "You see this layer? It's crucial for our survival. Without it, we wouldn't exist." Alia absorbed his words, her mind racing with questions. "And how do you ensure that your planet remains habitable?" Alex scratched his head, his expression turning serious. "That's the challenge. We're facing significant environmental issues. Climate change, pollution, and deforestation are threatening our ecosystems. There are many groups working to raise awareness and implement solutions, but it's an uphill battle. Your species has learned to adapt, But now you must find ways to protect your home, Alia observed. It mirrors challenges we face on Xiron. Our planet's resources are limited, and we've learned the importance of sustainability to ensure our survival. Alex's eyes brightened. Exactly. It's all about balance. We have to be responsible stewards of our environment. Maybe we could share ideas on how to approach these problems. Alia smiled, thrilled at the thought of collaborating on solutions. I would love that. If we can understand each other's challenges, we can develop strategies that benefit both our worlds. As they exchanged thoughts, Alia realized how deeply interconnected their issues were, despite the vast differences in their biology and cultures. Their conversation flowed seamlessly, punctuated by laughter and excitement as they discovered shared values. Tell me more about your people, Alia urged, leaning in. What is your society like? Alex took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. Human society is incredibly diverse, with various cultures, languages, and traditions. We have developed systems of governance to maintain order, but conflicts can arise due to differing beliefs. It's a constant struggle to find common ground. Conflict is something we also understand, Alia replied, her voice thoughtful. On Xiron, we have different factions with varying ideologies, but we've learned to work together for the greater good. Our survival depends on cooperation. Right, Alex said, nodding enthusiastically. We need to learn from each other's strengths. By sharing our experiences, we can develop strategies to overcome our differences. As the conversation continued, they began to delve into more complex topics. Alia shared stories of Xironian history, filled with trials and triumphs, while Alex recounted the remarkable advancements in human technology and science. What about art and culture? Alia asked, her curiosity piqued. How do humans express themselves? Alex's eyes sparkled with passion. Art is a vital part of human culture. We use painting, music, dance, and literature to express our emotions and tell our stories. Each form of art reflects our experiences, beliefs, and dreams. It connects us on a deeply personal level. Alia's heart swelled with excitement at the thought. On Xiron, we also have art, but it often takes the form of light displays and crystal sculptures. Our connection to nature influences our creativity, shaping the way we express ourselves. Can you show me? Alex asked eagerly. I'd love to see what Xironian art looks like. Alia hesitated for a moment, contemplating how to convey the beauty of her world without the aid of technology. Perhaps one day, when the time is right, I can share more. But for now, I can tell you that our art is meant to evoke emotions, much like yours. Their discussion flowed effortlessly, a dance of ideas and experiences. As they shared laughter and stories, Alia felt a bond growing between them, one that transcended the boundaries of their worlds. Let's make a pact, Alex suggested suddenly, his expression earnest. We'll share our knowledge, but we'll also respect each other's worlds and cultures. No interference, only understanding. I agree, Alia replied, a smile spreading across her face. Together, we can create a bridge between our species. With a shared sense of purpose, they began to outline their goals for their collaboration. They would meet regularly, exchanging knowledge about their respective worlds while keeping their meetings a secret from Alia's team. Suddenly, Alia's communicator buzzed, jolting her back to reality. She glanced at the screen, her heart racing as she read the message from Vera. Alia, report back immediately. We need to analyze the data collected yesterday. Panic surged through her. I have to go, she said quickly, looking at Alex with regret. If they find out I've been here. I understand, Alex replied, his face reflecting concern. Just be careful. We can't let anyone ruin this opportunity. With a last, lingering look at him, Alia activated her cloaking device and made her way back through the forest, her heart heavy with the weight of her secret. The connection they had forged felt so precious, yet precarious. Inside the ship, Alia was met with a tense atmosphere. Her team was gathered around a holographic display, their expressions a mix of worry and irritation. "Where have you been?" Vera demanded, her voice sharp. "We've been waiting for you to analyze the samples." "I was gathering data on local flora," Alia lied, her voice steady despite the fluttering in her hearts. "Is that so?" Zer interjected, her eyes narrowing. "We expect thorough analysis, not wandering around." Alia nodded, suppressing a sigh. "Of course, I understand. I'll analyze the samples now." As she joined her team, she couldn't shake the feeling of longing for her conversations with Alex. The ideas they shared and the connection they forged were unlike anything she had ever experienced. Each moment spent away from him felt like a lost opportunity, but she reminded herself that their collaboration needed to be carefully planned. They had to navigate their worlds with caution, respecting their differences while seeking to understand each other. That evening, as she lay in her quarters, Alia stared at the ceiling, her thoughts filled with images of Alex and their discussions. She felt a fire igniting within her, a determination to make their unlikely alliance flourish. She would return to the lake tomorrow, no matter what. The path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but Alia was ready to embrace the adventure. Together, she and Alex will explore the boundaries of knowledge, discovering not only the wonders of each other's worlds, but also the resilience and strength that lay within their hearts. Cultural exchange. The following day, Alia stood at the edge of the lake, her heart fluttering with anticipation. The sun sparkled on the water's surface, mirroring her excitement. She had spent the night reflecting on her meetings with Alex, their conversations sparking a sense of purpose within her. Today, she would deepen their cultural exchange, exploring the rich tapestry of their lives. As she activated her cloaking device and stepped into the clearing, she spotted Alex already waiting, his face lit with a smile. "You came back," he exclaimed, his voice a mix of joy and relief. "Of course," Alia replied, her own smile widening. "I wouldn't miss it for the world. What do you want to share today?" "I thought we could dive into something personal," Alex suggested, his expression serious yet enthusiastic. "Let's share our traditions, beliefs, and stories. I want to know what shapes your identity as a Zeronian." Alia felt a rush of warmth at his genuine interest. "That sounds wonderful. In Zeron, we have many traditions tied to our environment. For instance, we celebrate the arrival of the jewel suns with a festival called the Luminary Dance. It symbolizes unity and harmony among our people." "Luminary Dance?" Alex echoed, intrigued. "What do you do during the festival?" She began to explain, her voice animated. "During the festival, we gather at the Great Crystal Spire, where we dance beneath the light of the jewel suns. Our bodies shimmer and pulse with energy as we move in unison, celebrating our connection to nature and each other. It's a time of joy and reflection." "Sounds incredible," Alex said, his eyes sparkling with admiration. "We have our own festivals too. One of the most important is New Year's Eve. We celebrate it with fireworks, parties, and countdowns. It's a way to mark the passing of time and look forward to the future." Alia listened intently, captivated by the thought of humans gathering together, celebrating their lives with such fervor. "Fireworks? What are those?" Alex chuckled, a lightness in his tone. "They're explosive devices that create bright lights and sounds in the sky. They symbolize joy and hope, marking the beginning of a new year." "Fascinating," Alia replied, her imagination running wild with the images of vibrant explosions lighting up the night sky. "And how do you feel during such celebrations?" Alex's expression grew thoughtful. "It's a mix of emotions, anticipation, excitement, nostalgia. We reflect on the past year and set resolutions for the coming one. It's a time for family and friends to come together, strengthen bonds, and share dreams." Alia felt a pang of longing for her own family, whom she hadn't seen in what felt like ages. "Family is essential to us as well. We have strong ties, and our elders are respected for their wisdom. They guide us through life's challenges." "Same here," Alex agreed. "Family means everything. We rely on each other for support and guidance. My parents taught me the importance of kindness, curiosity, and never losing sight of my dreams. Those values resonate deeply, Alia said, her heart swelling with appreciation for their shared beliefs. Curiosity drives us to explore, to understand our surroundings. It's the essence of being alive. Alex nodded, his expression serious. Exactly. Curiosity is what brings us together. It's what led you to me, and it's what fuels our desire to learn from one another. With a renewed sense of purpose, Alia decided it was time to delve deeper into the cultural exchange. I want to learn about your art and music, she said, her eyes shining with excitement. How do humans express their creativity? Alex's eyes lit up. Art is a vital part of our culture. We use various mediums, painting, sculpture, music, and literature, to express our emotions and tell stories. Each piece reflects the experiences of the artist. Tell me more, Alia urged, her curiosity piqued. Let me show you, Alex said, pulling out his holographic projector once again. He activated it, and images of famous artworks flickered to life. This is Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. It depicts a night sky filled with swirling stars and a small town below. The colors and brushstrokes evoke emotion and movement. Alia gasped, captivated by the beauty and intensity of the painting. It's so vibrant. The colors dance across the canvas. What emotions does it convey? It's often interpreted as a representation of Van Gogh's feelings of isolation and hope, Alex explained. Art can be a powerful medium to express complex emotions. Alia felt a surge of understanding. On Xiron, our art often takes the form of light displays and crystal formations. We express our emotions through the reflections and refracted light, creating a symphony of colors that tell our stories. Can you show me? Alex asked eagerly. Alia hesitated, realizing that her ability to share Xironian art was limited without the means to create a holographic display. I wish I could, but I have no way to project our art here. Let's create something together, Alex suggested, his voice filled with enthusiasm. We can merge our styles and create a piece that represents our collaboration. An extraordinary idea, Alia replied, excitement bubbling within her. We can use your projector to display both human and Xironian elements. They set to work, gathering materials from the surrounding forest. Alia collected bioluminescent plants, whose glowing properties would add a unique touch to their creation. Meanwhile, Alex found rocks and twigs, ready to combine their resources. As they worked, laughter filled the air, their creativity intertwining as they shared techniques and ideas. Alia marveled at Alex's ability to mold the materials into forms, his dexterity evident as he fashioned a small sculpture. It's beautiful, she said, genuinely impressed. Your hands are skilled. Thanks. You're doing great too, Alex replied, admiring Alia's work with the glowing plants. The way you combine the light and color is mesmerizing. Once their piece was complete, they stepped back to admire their creation. It was a harmonious blend of both their worlds, a Xironian-inspired structure adorned with bioluminescent plants, surrounded by the earthly elements Alex had collected. Now, let's display it, Alia said, a gleam in her eye. With a few adjustments to the holographic projector, Alex programmed it to showcase their artwork alongside images of their respective worlds. The projector flickered to life, illuminating the clearing with vibrant colors and shapes that danced in the air. This is amazing, Alia gasped, her heart swelling with pride at their collaborative creation. It represents our cultures and the bond we are forming. Yes, it's a symbol of our connection, Alex agreed, his voice filled with emotion. This is just the beginning of what we can achieve together. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue across the landscape, Alia felt a sense of unity and purpose. They had not only created a piece of art, they had laid the groundwork for a collaboration that transcended the boundaries of their worlds. The glow of the bioluminescent plants mingled with the warmth of their shared dreams, illuminating the path ahead. They spent the evening sharing more stories, exploring the nuances of their cultures, and solidifying the foundation of their alliance. When it was time to part, Alia felt a bittersweet ache in her heart. "I will return tomorrow," she promised. "We have so much more to explore together." "I'll be here," Alex said, a smile on his face, "and I can't wait to see what we'll create next." With a final glance at the lake, where the reflections danced in the fading light, Alia activated her cloaking device and stepped back into the forest. As she made her way home, she couldn't help but feel that their collaboration was destined to change the course of both their species. With each meeting, their bond grew stronger, a bridge spanning the vast gulf of the cosmos. Together, they would navigate the challenges that lay ahead, forging a path of understanding and cooperation that would echo through the stars. Shadows of doubt. The sun rose slowly the next morning, bathing the forest in a warm golden light. Alia stood by the edge of the discovery, her excitement building as she prepared for another meeting with Alex. However, beneath her eagerness lay a shadow of doubt. Every moment spent with Alex felt like a step deeper into the unknown, and the secrecy of their meetings weighed heavily on her conscience. Focus on the science, she reminded herself, adjusting her cloak and preparing to step outside. Knowledge is the key to understanding. As she traversed the forest, she couldn't shake the feeling that her secret was precarious. If her team discovered her meetings with Alex, it could jeopardize everything they had worked for. They were on a mission to study Earth, and any sign of interference could lead to disastrous consequences. When she reached the lake, Alex was already there, gazing at the water's surface, lost in thought. As Alia materialized from the shadows, his face broke into a wide grin. "You made it." "I wouldn't miss it," she replied, her heart lifting at the sight of him. "I've been looking forward to our discussions. What do you want to explore today?" "I thought we could delve into our scientific advancements," Alex suggested, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. "I want to know how your species approaches technology and knowledge." Alia nodded, her excitement returning. "On Zoran, we have developed technology that integrates seamlessly with our biology. Our exoskeletons are not just for protection, they also enhance our capabilities. For instance, my suit allows me to communicate with my team and access data in real time." "Real-time data access? That sounds incredible," Alex exclaimed, intrigued. "We've developed various technologies as well, but they're often based on mechanical and digital systems. For instance, computers process information and allow us to connect with others globally." "Computers," Alia repeated, her brow furrowing. "What are those?" "They're devices that process data and perform calculations at incredible speeds," Alex explained, gesturing animatedly. "They help us communicate, explore the universe, and solve complex problems. We've even sent robots to other planets to gather information." Alia felt a rush of admiration. "Your ingenuity is remarkable. On Zoran, we rely on our natural abilities to adapt and evolve. We've learned to harness our environment, using crystals to store energy and communicate across vast distances." "Wow, that's fascinating. We've been developing our technology in other ways, but it sounds like your approach is more harmonious with nature," Alex said, leaning closer. "How do you ensure that your technology doesn't harm your planet?" Alia hesitated, a weight settling in her chest. "It hasn't always been easy. In the past, our technological advancements caused harm to our environment, leading to scarcity of resources. But we've learned from those mistakes and now prioritize sustainability. Our crystals are grown naturally, and we use renewable energy sources to power our systems." "I can relate," Alex said, his voice thoughtful. "We're facing our own challenges with environmental degradation. Many people are becoming more aware, advocating for renewable energy, and trying to reduce our carbon footprint. It's a long road, but change is happening." Their discussion flowed seamlessly, and Alia felt invigorated by the exchange of ideas. But as they spoke, a nagging worry tugged at her. "Alex," she said cautiously, "what if our meetings are discovered? My team is unaware of our collaboration, and they might react negatively if they find out. Alex's expression shifted, the concern evident in his eyes. I understand your fears, but I believe what we're doing is important. If we can foster understanding between our species, we could pave the way for cooperation. Still, secrecy feels dangerous, Alia replied, her heart heavy. We are here to study your planet without interference. If we don't follow our mission parameters, we risk everything. Maybe we can find a way to make our collaboration more transparent, Alex suggested. I could introduce you to some of my colleagues, scientists who are open to learning about extraterrestrial life. If they understand your mission, perhaps they could assist you in navigating any potential conflicts. Alia considered his words, her heart racing with hope and apprehension. That could work, but I'm worried about how they'll react to me, an alien being. Trust me, Alex said earnestly, his eyes locked onto hers. Humans can be understanding and curious. They might be more open than you expect. The conversation shifted as they brainstormed ways to incorporate their knowledge and foster cooperation between their species. They exchanged stories about their scientific endeavors, discussing the challenges and triumphs they had faced. The bond between them grew stronger with each shared experience, but Alia's anxiety remained a constant undercurrent. Can you tell me more about your scientific method? Alia asked, eager to learn more. How do you approach research and discovery? Alex leaned back, a thoughtful expression crossing his face. We rely on observation and experimentation. First, we form hypotheses about how things work. Then we test them to see if our predictions are correct. It's all about understanding the world around us through careful study. Alia's antennae twitched with excitement. That's similar to our approach. We observe our environment and collect data to analyze patterns. However, we often work in smaller teams, focusing on specific aspects of our surroundings. Collaboration is key in science, Alex replied, nodding. The more perspectives we have, the better our understanding becomes. That's why I think involving others in our collaboration could be beneficial. Perhaps you're right, Alia conceded, feeling a flicker of hope. But I still fear the consequences of revealing my presence here. My team values secrecy and protocol above all. Before Alex could respond, Alia's communicator buzzed urgently, cutting through their conversation. She glanced at the screen, her heart sinking as she read the message from Vera. Alia, where are you? We need you back immediately for analysis. This is urgent. Panic surged through her, and she looked up at Alex, a mixture of dread and guilt filling her eyes. I have to go, she said quickly. If they discover I'm missing, it will raise suspicions. Go, Alex urged, his voice filled with concern. I'll be here tomorrow. We'll figure this out together, I promise. With a final, reluctant glance at him, Alia activated her cloaking device and hurried back through the forest. As she made her way to the ship, her thoughts raced. She knew that time was running out, and she had to find a way to navigate the complexities of her mission without jeopardizing the connection she had forged with Alex. Inside the Discovery, Alia was met with a tense atmosphere. Vera stood at the control panel, her expression a mix of worry and irritation. Where have you been? She demanded, her tone sharp. We've been waiting for you to analyze the samples. I was collecting data on local flora. Alia lied, her voice steady despite the anxiety coursing through her. Is that so? Zer interjected, her compound eyes narrowing. We need to maintain a strict schedule, Alia. Time is of the essence if we want to achieve our objectives. Alia nodded, suppressing a sigh. I understand. I'll analyze the samples now. As she joined her team, Alia couldn't shake the feeling of unease. They were aware of the need for secrecy, but she was increasingly aware that her collaboration with Alex could be a turning point for both species. The urgency of their discussions echoed in her mind, and she resolved to find a way to share the knowledge they were building together without risking everything. As the day wore on, Alia immersed herself in her work, her thoughts often drifting back to Alex and the bond they were forging. Each moment they spent apart felt like a lost opportunity, and she knew they had to act swiftly to secure their collaboration. That night, as she lay in her quarters, Olia's thoughts were consumed by her desire for knowledge and connection. The universe felt vast and lonely, but through Alex, she glimpsed the possibility of bridging that gap. The path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but Alia was determined to navigate it with courage and resolve. They would continue their collaboration, no matter the challenges that lay ahead. The fate of both their species depended on it.